Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm your host, Mrs. M. And if you haven't, make sure you click the link below. That way you can subscribe to my channel and not miss out on anything you need to scale your business to six figures and beyond. Pow! So in this video, I'm going to get right to it. What would I do if I were starting over right now in government contracting with everything that's going on and I needed to make six figures? What would I do? Well, the first thing is I am going to find specific contracts that I can look at winning. Now, what that looks like is I already know what the government is awarding. So the majority of the contracts that the government is awarding are normally 250,000 and under. But right now in a lot of agencies, it's 50,000 and under. 50K, 50. There's still some that are 250 and there are some that are millions. But the difference is if you're looking at doing a contract that is over a certain amount right now, as this video is being filmed, there is a justification that must go along with your contract, with the contracting officer's statement of work. Within your statement of work that they create, they are putting in all the things they want done. And they also have to justify why this is considered one of the ones that they're awarding. So let's look at what they're awarding. I've mentioned they're awarding health, safety, mission essential, something like Border Patrol, Bureau of Prisons, BOP, Business of Prisons, Bureau of Prisons, and they are awarding, what's the other one? Like, ICE, Immigrations and Customs. Those are the ones that they're awarding. And return to work. So return to office. So return to office and the health and the safety, those are the ones that they're awarding. So if I'm looking at getting started right now, I'm looking to win contracts six figures and beyond, which is my favorite because you can do something starting with something like 10K a month. 10K a month is a starter of where you want to get started. Now, where you want to end up, let's find a starting place. What would I do right now if I had to get started with all this going on? Now, I've been doing this well in the, like 90, 97, 98, way back then, started in Florida. And actually won a lot of state contracts and then started winning federal contracts when I moved to DC. So all we have done is eat, drink, and sleep federal contracts in the Washington, D.C. area. Now, as of a lot of you that may live in the DMV area, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, there's been a big change. We all know that. Anyone that's watching the news know the President Trump's cuts, the administration, all of the different cuts that are going on, DOGE cuts, all of that. What would I do right now? So, of course, I'm going to make sure that I have my SAMs. I've got all of my DSBS. Still going to do the same thing. The difference is I already know that there may be 5 areas that they're looking for contracts in. So this is one that we actually applied for. One of our students actually applied for and won. And this one was for pollution prevention assessment. It was so bad in that area that it ended up being, I think it was somewhere in Kentucky. And it was so bad in that area, and this was a federal, not a state, that they ended up needing to assess the pollution. That is one of the ones that was for $16,000 and some change. It was like a 3 or 4 assessment test that you had to do, and that was the amount. So it's kind of like a one project awarded contract, $16,000 and some change. I think 16,812, something like that. That probably fell under a safety, like a safety or health kind of thing. Probably could go in both, probably more health. Another one was for like 100 and something thousand, 125,000, student one. And that one was for removing a feral pigeon that was in this wildlife area and also removing other wildlife that were not supposed to be in that area. This was a 2-month contract, and it was for like 100 and something thousand. And so both of those were over 50K, and they had to have a reason within the scope of work of what they want done, they then had to also come up with the reason why it was considered health, mission essential, one of those categories I just gave you. So what I focused on is looking for contracts that I know fall in those categories. Now, there are still contracts out there that fall in those categories. The difference is, do not think that the agencies are going to be able to do a lot of contracts like you've heard before, where they are millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're not going to have to give justification why they fall under that area. So $50K and over, and I think any government agency, $50K and over, you're having to give a justification on why you need it. And that is what is going on right now. So I know that if I want a contract over $50K, I have to go into it knowing that this is going to have to be justified, and it's already going to be in the statement of work of why it needs to be. And then you already know that it's going to be approved because they're having to put the justification within the statement of work from the get-go. So I like knowing what's really going on, not what people say, because we get a chance to talk to the actual people that are, as they say, boots on ground. These are the actual contracting officers giving us the scoop. We're getting the real deal, not the gossip. So this is what's going on, and you still go into contract. Is it going to be more challenging for me if I'm just getting started? Absolutely. But it still can be done. Now, I can look at doing this through the middleman subcontracting, which I like to say, like we're looking at the middleman method, or what we call subcontracting. I can find these contracts, and I may not have the aptitude, the skill set to be able to remove feral pigeons, but I know that I can find someone that can, because I now know what my blueprint is for finding contracts within those areas. Then I'm going to put in my filters on various other places I find contracts, and including sam.gov. I know what I'm looking for. I know my keywords. There's a way that we go about showing our students how to do that. And that is boom, 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 how you're going to still be able to win contracts right now in 2025 with everything going on. So if you'd like to know more detail, like I say, if you'd like to know more of the eye level instead of the high level, like what type of filters and where would I look to find these contracts, then make sure you join me for my free masterclass tomorrow, March the 18th, 12 noon. Click the description to sign up. I'll look forward to seeing you, and make sure you bring your pen and paper so you can take some great notes, absolutely free. I'm going to give you a couple of how to go about and then some what's to go about so that you can continue on with winning government contracts, which indeed is a great way to scale your business. One of my favorite things, add these to your existing business or start a business, but always try to focus on at least making the six figures and beyond, because that's going to give you a viable business, not a side hustle. Even though a lot of side hustles now are doing well, just more of a viable business, because maybe if you don't look at it just a side hustle, you can look at it as a viable or a business that can turn into a real viable business. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow, March 18th, 12 noon. Click the description below so you find out exactly when and where, and I'll look forward to seeing you. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.